Welcome to the Volquest Stock Report alongside Brent Hubbs. I'm Austin Price. Stock up for you this week, Hubbard.
Yeah, I don't know that it applies to this game, but my stock up coming out of the Akron game, Austin Price, was those freshman defensive players. I liked what Elijah Herring showed. I really like what Joshua Joseph showed. Now, I think you're going to see Joshua Joseph early in this Florida game. And I like what James Pierce showed, and also like what Tyree West showed. I mean, those were four guys that you walked off the field and you watched the review of the game, and you went, those guys stood out with their athleticism and ability to make a play, regardless of who the opponent was. So my stock up are those freshman defensive guys who are going to help this football team. Some of them are going to help more this year than others, but they're going to help this team this year. And we'll see how many of them help on Saturday. But that's my stock up coming out of Akron.
Stock up for me is one Jalen Hyatt. How can it not be, right? I mean, the guy goes for, over 150 yards, had some huge catches, did it in different ways. Route tree was different, almost every catch. And they're going to need him to be big on Saturday with Cedric Tillman, dealing with the ankle. So, Jalen Hyatt's got to continue to be stock up, but he's stock up for me coming off the win over Akron. Stock down for me, I'll go with Cedric Tillman. And it has nothing to actually do with anything Cedric Tillman did, but his availability for Saturday is bleak. And, that just, you can't replace a Gary Bertier. You can't replace a Cedric Tillman very easily. And that's not to say that they can't shift Brew McCoy over and give him Cedric's targets and put one of those younger receivers in over there opposite Brew and keep rolling, because they can still have success. But it definitely hurts Tennessee's offense to not have their best receiver or most accomplished receiver in the game if he can't go. Stock down for you.
I'm going to stick with yours, and that's where you were a week ago, and that's the punting operation. And for me, it's punting the football. I think Florida's going to be aggressive. They're going to come after punts. Tennessee's had a punt blocked in the Pitt game, nearly had one blocked in the Ball State game, nearly had one blocked in the Akron game. I have no idea what that was from a rugby-style attempt kick. That was like a half rugby, half plant outside the hash kick that just didn't work. Everything seems slow in the punt operation. You're going to have to speed it up because Florida's going to come after you, because Florida's not sure they can drive the length of the football field many times offensively with where they're at right now. So they're going to look for short fields. They're going to look for turnovers. They're going to look for game momentum swinging plays. They can try to find one in the punt game by coming after Tennessee's punter, Paxton Brooks. He's got to play faster. The shields have to protect better, and they got to communicate better. Too many busts up there up front. They've just not been a very good unit through 3 games.
And for me, stock stagnant will be just getting over the hump. I mean, Tennessee's a double-digit favorite. The line's really not moved all week. You better just embrace it and roll with the punches, because you're not going to be labeled the underdog in this one. No one's going to feel sorry for Tennessee. So you better just embrace the role of, we're supposed to win this game and go win it. But you've got to, you got to see it to believe it stuff for years and years and years is really tried and true. Tennessee just hasn't won this game enough. Only one time in the last 17 years, and really 6 times in the last 30. Only 5 quarterbacks have beaten the Gators since 1992, when Mose Phillips scored in the downpour, to quote the great John Ward. And so one of those quarterbacks was Casey Clausen, who won twice. So, they got to get over the hump. Stock stagnant is getting over the hump. Stock stagnant for you.
I'm going to go with the run game because we just don't know the health status. I mean, Jabari Small's going to try to go, but how durable is that shoulder going to be? How much is it going to hold up? We think Dylan Sampson may try to go. How much can that ankle really, can he get it hot and lathered and be able to play, or is it going to give him problems? And if you're down there without those two guys, or those two guys limited, Jerry Mack openly admitted in the press conference that they're repping Princeton Fant as a tailback this week just in case. And I'm not knocking Princeton Fant. I know he played running back in high school.
All 4 are good to go.
Yeah, I know. I understand. All 4 are good to go, but we're repping this guy and just in case he needs to go, which means all 4 may have been out there to practice, but they weren't all 100%, which is no surprise. So where is this run game? This is a Florida team that struggled to stop the run. That's why Hendon Hooker has to be the catalyst for this run game for Tennessee. But to me, it's stock stagnant because they haven't run the ball effectively against a good defense, against a quality Power 5 opponent. And we just don't know how healthy they're going to be in the run game. So I'm going run game stock stagnant.
I'm going to go ahead and throw out on a limb before we get out the door. If Tennessee has to turn to Princeton Fant in the backfield, he's back there as a personal protector for Hendon Hooker and as a lead blocker for Hendon Hooker, who will become Tennessee's running back also. He is Brent Hubbs. I'm Austin Price. This has been the Volquest Stock Report for Florida Week.